What is going on, everybody? Welcome back into the channel. My name is Rock Soldier, and today I'm coming to you guys with another head-to-head video where we take two rogues from Rogue Company, Anvil and Mack, and we put them in a one-on-one battle where we go over their abilities, their passives, their loadouts, their perk comparison, and then we give you some clips to show you their potential in game to see which defender truly controls an area best. Man, I'm excited to bring you guys this video. We're gonna hop right into it. Let's get it. Taking a look at their abilities, his ability is called Barricade, and he deploys a barricade that blocks damage and also can block movement. It's basically a deployable shield. Anvil's ability great is for completely dominating an area and blocking off certain lanes. You know, it's putting in a doorway to cut off a complete lane or an entry point to an area, as well as just controlling an area, being able to play around the shield. And you know, the shield has 1200 hit points, so it can really sit there for a while and last, and it really doesn't have a duration until it's completely destroyed. Obviously, Shudder Rounds being a counter to Anvil's shield, but nonetheless 1200 HP is quite a bit. Mack's ability is called Light Bomb. He plants a device that charges up and launches a massive flashbang into the air. Has a 30-meter radius and will sit there and last for 15 seconds if you do not detonate it yourself. The downside is that it's not nearly as strong as Anvil's shield. It only has 300 hit points. I was very surprised though to see that both abilities have the same time to shoot. Mack's ability is really good to prevent pushes and to kind of like stop and slow down pushes, because once you get in that radius, you know, people are squared, the flashbang hits and it lasts long, and man, it feels longer than a regular flashbang, I'll say that. Taking a look at their passives, Anvil's passive is called Immunity, and basically he's immune to flashbangs and tear gases. This is a really good perk. Obviously, this is also really good for dahlia, and this also just kind of increases Anvil's ability to really play around his shield, and not have to worry about, you know, tear gas being thrown or a flashbang coming in and flashing him and just getting absolutely trampled down. And the big thing about Anvil's passive is that he counters 4 rogues in the game. He actually counters Mack's ability with his flashbang, and he counters every rogue that has flashbangs in the game as well, which would be Glitch, Talon, and Shock. Mack's passive is called Standard Issue, and basically he starts with 25 armor at the beginning of each round in every single game, and downing an enemy instantly repairs that armor. So it's basically like having a free mini life drain. This is beautiful for Dahlia Link, allowing players to start off with that 25 extra HP for a total of 125 at the beginning of every round, especially in like the early rounds of Demolition where it's like pistol rounds and whatnot. It can be absolutely massive. Taking a look at their combat loadouts, Anvil has the MLX Maw, the Arbitrator, and the Executioner. Mack has the Conviction, the Objection, Warrant. Now, as for the LMGs, both of them are really good and reliable weapons. The Conviction gets more accurate over time, so as you shoot it, it becomes more and more accurate. The downside, I will say, is that its magazine size is not as big as Anvil's LMG. Anvil's LMG is just really accurate off the rip, and overall a really solid weapon, but the Conviction also hits really hard. I'd say it's really like a toss-up and kind of comes down to preference as to what LMG you like better. As for the Arbitrator versus the Objection, it's very hard to compare these two because they're obviously two completely different weapons, but I will say I'm pretty sure that the Objection has the shortest damage range out of all the SMGs, but kind of makes this battle a little more equal. You know, the Arbitrator being the best shotgun in the game and the Objection being the fastest SMG in the game. I don't know if I can give either gun the go-ahead, because you know, most of the time not only do you just see that both characters usually use the LMGs, I will say I think Mack's SMG is a little more viable to use than Anvil's shotgun, just because it is a double barrel, doesn't have replenish. So being a double barrel kind of limits him with the shotgun. As for the Executioner versus the Warrant, we actually have a head-to-head video that'll be at the top of your screen right now, where I compare those two weapons and we go over their stats, their time to kill, and a whole bunch of other things to see which pistol's truly better. And honestly, they're very close. The Warrant is super accurate, and it's an amazing pistol, and so is the Executioner. That thing hits, and it's probably the most accurate pistol and deadly pistol, especially at a range. It's a very close toss-up, but for me personally, I like the Executioner. As for the utility, Anvil has the baseball bat, C4, and the trophy system, and Mack has the Claymore, the newly added melee, a frag grenade, and the trophy system. So when you look at the baseball bat versus Claymore, the baseball bat has the biggest hitbox in the game, but they recently nerfed the baseball bat down to 75 damage at being thrown, and the Claymore is the same way. You can't upgrade it to make it do any more throw damage, so they both just do 75 throw damage. So, and that's the disadvantage to both of these weapons right here, is that I truly think that they're not viable to buy anymore because you can't one-shot somebody with them. And on top of that, the Claymore is the slowest melee in the game. I'm pretty sure the baseball bat is faster, not by a whole lot, but I think it is. They're very similar melees though, especially with their upgrades being able to increase swing damage and lunge distance. As for the C4 versus the frag grenade, Personally, I think I'm gonna have to give the C4 the edge, and I think on Anvil's kit, it just makes him so good, being able to play around that shield, bait people in, try to get aggressive. I see, you know, they're dropping a C4 on their heads. The frag grenade is really good, especially being able to upgrade to 150 damage, and obviously you have a little bit more range with the frag grenade, but there's a little bit more of a timing factor involved. You gotta be able to time. The timing in this game is different from games like Call of Duty, whereas Call of Duty is more like 4 seconds, and this game's more like 5 seconds of a cook time. There's a little bit of a learning curve to the frag grenades, but once you do, they are really good. And then lastly, they both have trophy systems, which is just a good utility in general. They can both get 2 of them, and it's the first upgrade, so you know, trophy systems are really good to get. Looking at their perk comparison, for the cheap perks, Anvil has Shredder Rounds and Berserker, and then Mack also has Berserker and Toughen Up. Toughen Up is a recently added perk into the game, basically where it just makes you take reduced damage from melee weapons. It was first introduced with Sigurd. Personally, I think both these perks fit their characters well. Anvil being able to have Shredder Rounds and be able to basically counter another Anvil on top of that large magazine is huge, and then Mack with his passive giving you that extra shield, and then being on top of that, being able to not take as much damage from, say, fully upgraded weapons like the katana or the axe, and then being able to live through those is also really big for him. As for the medium perks, Anvil has Helping Hands and Tenacity. Mack has Bounce Back and Stalker. I really enjoy Mack's medium perks because the bounce back is super good with Mack because of his passive ability. You know, say you take fight from a damage, but you get the guy killed, you instantly get your armor back, that extra 25 health, and on top of that, your health regens faster. So it makes him a really good and almost like a mini life drain perk of a character without having the actual perk life drain. And then I also really enjoy the Stalker perk on him because his weapon gets more accurate the longer you shoot it. So I think him being able to kind of zoom around a little bit while ADS actually makes a lot of sense. I'm also a big fan of Anvil's medium perks here because he has Helping Hands, and say his teammate was able to go down around his shield, you know, he has that time, and you say 3-second res and be able to get his teammates up, and on top of that, he has Tenacity. As you can see in his expensive perks, he also has Headstrong. So with that combination of Headstrong and Tenacity, he's able to live through pretty much any explosive in the game, which again makes a lot of sense for him to be able to play around the shield and really dominate and control an area. As their expensive perk, Anvil has Headstrong, as I just said, and he also has Life Drain. Mack has Replenish and Resupply. Now, I actually think Replenish makes a lot of sense on Mack because you do see a lot of players almost like pre-firing with the Conviction LMG to kind of get the accuracy up for when they actually do peak. So you are able to get somebody down and then you have Replenish on. It does make a lot of sense. And then for like a respawn game mode, Resupply I think is really good for Mack actually. You being able to constantly resupply those trophies if they get baited out, and then keep getting a fresh supply of frag grenades as long as he's able to keep downing people and killing them. I think Life Drain makes a lot of sense on Anvil, again, just allowing him to completely dominate an area, you know, with the combinations of the C4 and the shield and then the extra health. He's just really able to control and dominate an area. You know, being able to down somebody and then regain that health back instantly. So overall, I think a lot of these perks actually fit these defenders very well. Now that we've compared everything we possibly can about these two defenders, we're gonna hop into some clips to show you guys their true potential in game. But first, man, if you guys are enjoying the video, please make sure to leave a like, hit that sub button, hit that bell to know we're dropping the next one. If you guys enjoy watching Competitive Rogue Company, my team and I, we're a top 16 team. We're practicing all the time. If you guys are interested in checking us out, I'm live on Twitch Thursday to Monday. Link for that will be down below in the description. All right, guys, we're gonna hop into these clips, man. I appreciate you guys checking out the video. We're gonna hop right into it. Let's get it.